I know what? I'm going to try for 4 episodes this time around instead of just recording 3. Onwards! Ariane agrees to meet us at the Rising Stones. If any of the others heard the voice, we'll find out soon enough. Good luck. I should get back to the meeting with the elder seats here, but if there's anything I can do, anything at all, you must let me know. Alright? Promise me. Right, let's be on our way. I wonder how many of these other guys got affected then, like the boulders.
Urianger! God, it's good to see you.
Would that our meeting were under happier circumstances. I judged the voice sufficient cause for concern even before you sent word of its effect on our comrade.
You heard it too, then?
Aye. And all but certainly at the selfsame instant. Alas, pained as I was, I could make little sense of what few words did then reach mine ears.
Who do you think is responsible? Could this be the Ascians doing?
That I cannot say. Not when so little is known. Ere I indulge in speculation, I would examine Thancred with mine own eyes.
To Alamigo, then, without further delay.
One other thing. During my visit to the Far East, I observed a strange phenomenon.
Thou referrest, I presume, to the localized reduction in etheric density.
Well, that spares me the trouble of an explanation. Yes, I noted precisely that at 2 apparently unconnected locations. I take it the phenomenon is not limited to the Far East.
Indeed not. Of late, our agents charged with surveilling the beast tribes have spoken of little else. In every corner of the realm, they tell of places in which the ether hath grown thin. Naturally, my suspicions first turned to primal activity, but the areas thus affected betray no evidence of summoning. I must confess to being quite perplexed.
If the same phenomenon is being observed in multiple locations on opposite sides of the world, we may safely discount regional factors. Needless to say, this warrants further investigation.
Indeed, I shall make it my task to. The voice. It calleth to me once more.
Okay, why only you this time, though? Oh, there we go.
I hear it too.
Only you. Only you.
No! Ishtola! Urianger!
Throw wide the gates.
Okay, is any of us enjoying nap time now?
No! No, this can't be happening!
Huh. 2 more for nap time.
Y'shtola! Urianger! Open your eyes!
And did none of the other scions in here do
Open your
anything?
eyes, I beg you! Say something! Anything! Not again. Please, not again.
Artery Boulder, get over here. We need a healer. At least Royal's over here now. This is an unpredictable predicament for the Scions, but we must remain strong, and least of us most of all. Why weren't the rest of you guys affected? It cannot be discounted that Mistress Carl has heard the voice as well. I will ask Totaro to send her word of what has come to pass. Actually, has Totaro been hearing it as well? Didn't that self-same thing happen to Thancred? Who's bloody next? We had spoken earnestly of doing more to ease the senior Scion's burdens, but not under these circumstances, nor less so soon. I only hope I will be equal to the challenge. Confound these old bones. Unless useless as I am, I should have been the one to be struck down. Orcher, sister, and I will take turns to keep watch over the slumbering Archons. We'll not leave them unattended, even for a moment. As a mage, I have some few scholarly acquaintances of mine, and will reach out to them for their insight. It may not be much, but twist my own little way of aiding Mistress Alize. Still wondering why all these other guys aren't getting affected by it. And I'll be right back. Forgive me, that was an unseemly display. It happens before your very eyes, my lady. None here would have behaved any differently. Oh, I have borne the two of them to a private chamber, but tell me, is it true that Master Thancred languishes in a like state in Alamigo? I'm afraid so, though, given the circumstances, it would seem best to observe them together. I will send word to Lys that he should be brought here. Take heart, my lady. The world is full of scholars and knowledgeable folks of every persuasion. Someone out there is bound to know what ails our comrades and how it may be cured. Thus will we rouse them no matter what. We already know what's wrong with them. Somebody plucked their souls out of them. And I'm pretty sure the cure would be find soul, put soul back in. And maybe put Band-Aid on that. That we will, Warrior. That we will. First things first, our comrades will have questions. May I ask that you explain the situation to them? I must attend to a private matter. See our little buddy in... Oh, I promise I visit someone in some Lamosa. He's been waiting at Maelstrom Command for a while now. You know, you should come along too. I think he'd be glad to see you. I guess we could also see if he's being called to as well. I mean, considering that Kryle's been getting called and she's not even a Scion. She's a student of Baldessian, or Baldessian, whatever it was. A student, she's part of a different organization. I'm thinking for this recording session, I'm going to try to finish off the rest of post Stormblood. And so the next time when I play, next time I record, I'll start up the next expansion. As you probably guessed, it's Gabu. We've come to see. The private here will bring him out to us. Ever since the Maelstrom took him in, I've tried to visit as often as I can, and after what befell our friends, I was taken by the urge to visit again. It's difficult to explain.
Here he is, my lady.
Gabu, it's been too long.
I'm afraid there's been no change. If he can see or hear us, he has given no sign.
I see. You're still fighting. I'm proud of you. We promised that we would come and visit you together, didn't we? Alphino and I. I'm sorry that we haven't managed that yet. You know, with the three of us like this, does it not remind you of that night? Of the stars beyond count twinkling in the heavens?
Yeah, right after he got like this.
I was feeling pretty low back then. Powerless. But I knew that my brother was close by if I needed him, and that the others would be waiting for me back at the Rising Stones. Not like now. I've seen my share of trouble since coming to Eorzea. Been reminded again and again of my limitations, of how little I can change about this world. And I've come to know the sorrow of parting all too well. But to have the people I hold dear struck down before my eyes, and be powerless to help them, that I cannot bear. No, I don't. You're right. It's pure arrogance to imagine I can solve everything by myself. You'd think I'd have learned that by now. Thank you. I don't know what I'd do without you. Well, that's more than enough brooding for one day. Come on. We have friends to save.
What about Gabu? He responded to that. Let's return to the Rising Stones and take it from there. Thanks again for agreeing to come. It meant a lot to me. So many quests that Edgar's never going to do. I did some thinking on the way back, and I think Hoyer's right. We need to seek outside help. Ordinarily, we would turn to our experts in such matters, but they've both became the stricken. I will begin by reaching out to the myriad guilds and research institutions here in Eorzea. Additionally, Grandfather and Menphilia had a wealth of connections between them, and I mean to explore those avenues too. I'll find a way to save everyone, mark my words. Much and more has happened in recent days, some of it for the good, some not so. But all around me, people continue to fight their fight. From the shinobi who search for Alphino to the Alliance members who make ready to move against the Empire. They march on in the face of great observatory. Okay, I'm not going to keep time. Bringing heavy burdens. Adversary. Everyone is playing their part, and so much must I. You have your own part to play. I know, and it's bigger than most. So I won't keep you. Just promise that you'll visit from time to time, and I promise I'll have good tidings to share with you when you do. Meanwhile, on Cape Konkona,
the Populares no longer present an obstacle. Now is the time to bring the Empire's might to bear. A word from your Radiance is all it takes. But one word, and the Imperial army will fall upon Alamigo as a pack of bloodthirsty wolves and tear that feeble nation apart. Have you no words for me? Despite the lengths I go to, an emissary playing the part of a fool. When first I took this face, I swore to use all of my knowledge, all of my power, to further the cause of the Empire. My deeds stand testament to my commitment. And with this adamant flesh at my disposal, I could destroy the Icon Slayer as easily as one might swat a fly. Why do you hesitate? Our enemy is resourceful. Though victory is certain now, it will not remain so indefinitely. Deliberate if you must, but be quick about it. We'll speak again when you have unburdened yourself of doubt. Until then, I take my leave, Father.
I should be the one to sigh. I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest, and then, thanks to La Habrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back. Elidibus was ever a warrior. A most tiresome trait, would you not agree? Have you no words for me either? No matter. I've long grown weary of this mummery. Now, my dearest grandson, let me remind you of your place in the simplest of terms. You do not make judgments, you administer them. Swiftly and to the letter. Naught else is your concern. Elidibus may be an insufferable bore, but he is no fool. His choices as emissary seldom err. If aught threatens the balance twixt light and dark, it falls to you to remove it. Be it by your own hands or by your armies, you have ample means at your disposal. That is why this empire exists, why I built it. Oh dear, have I touched a nerve? You always were an easy one to read. I pity you, I do. As they say, ignorance is bliss. And I know how much happier you would be not knowing the things you know. The founding father was an Ascian, and he created the Empire solely for the purpose of sowing the seeds of chaos. Don't take it personally. I merely do my duty. To bring about a calamity requires no small amount of power, and there is no surer way to obtain such power than by collecting powerful pawns. To that end, I have labored long and hard, and I must say I am quite pleased with my handiwork, paltry though it seems in comparison to Alag.
You fiends are overfond of your own voices. Mark me, Ascian. Man is the master of his own destiny.
Such a waste of time and energy, both yours and mine. Lest you forget, you are Emperor now. If you wish to spout drivel about man's destiny, save it for the masses. It will serve to give them a sense of purpose, and you, pliant pieces for the game. Oh, do stop sulking, boy. You, of all people, should understand. Ours is a struggle to restore both mankind and the world to their rightful state. Viewed thus, our goals are one and the same.
What in the world? Dead, all dead, yet I see no wounds nor any evidence of battle. Damn them, they finally used it. The Empire developed an alchemical weapon in Garabanya, a gas, Black Rose it was called, and to breathe it is to breathe your last. And that did this? I thought the project abandoned and its vile fruit destroyed, but naught else could have wrought such an atrocity. Fools, what do they hope to gain with this butchery? Can they not see that a rule won through terror will not endure? How many more provinces must they lose? Nay, wait, this is not the work of men, but monsters, the Ascians. It cannot be a coincidence that their trails led us here. Their objective must not to rule, but to sow strife and discord. Such a crime does indeed bear the mark of the bringers of chaos. Black Rose cannot be allowed to kill again. We must find the Ascians and put an end to their plot. Sorry that if you heard my phone going off. Someone's been using my phone number for things. Don't even know how they got it or anything. Considering I don't use my phone number for anything. Apart from getting calls. But someone's been using it. Mara or something, and somebody just tried calling me twice.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news. After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring. Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle.
That probably would have been why they were the ones to go.
And Elfino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Cryle! I did not think you well enough to travel.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
I thought you were a student, not a scion.
Yes, I should have thought of that. Thank you for coming, Cryle. We would welcome your insight.
and I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
That particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault, but I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened, thanks to a certain someone. A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh? Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
Book.
All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep. Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I still don't know why the Elder Seedseer it's called that, considering that she's not the eldest. Isn't the eldest the leader of the Conjurers Guild, if I remember correctly?
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes? If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
I wasn't around for that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
Well, time to go to Idleshire. This is not going to end well. I heard Master Matoya has something. It was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us. I'm too tired to try to get hard words right. You know, I should say too annoyed too, because I do have the hurts in my mouth. Don't care about your
Come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems. Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders. Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
And Stola is one of the afflicted, is she? Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
I'm guessing that eye used to be on the top of her staff. Thinking that's not a staff, that's somebody's arm. Or probably something else was there. I don't think the orb would fit there and
Right.
stay.
Let us see what we can see. I'll begin from where our friends first fell and cast my senses out from there.
What is it? Did you find them?
Wait, this doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could their ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the broodmother's daughter all over again.
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
The biggest of thieves. Or smallest of thieves.
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment. Yes? I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way. That was Lee's. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them. I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Falls down immediately again.
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse, clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
Gonna blame the primal. I don't know what the dialogue difference is there if you two taking care of the primal by them, because I didn't do it so much later. So that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. When Alphino is back, I would like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of grandfather. But first, cabbage. Looks like we're getting another thing of salad. I almost cannot bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. But it can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said, unless there's no point speculating. Lise said she'd notified the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gates and the Alamegan quarter. I'll be praying for good news. Learn what you can of Alphino's plight, and leave the search for our friends' lost souls to me.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphino, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphino?
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events. Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing.
You mean emergency crash?
As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Ascians. This shadow hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphino, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
Well, at least he's not lying in a heap in the burn. Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphino still with them?
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them.
They must have a lot of white aura sight. or equivalent of, and a lot of ether to do that. Considering that one of them got ate by a primal, and we were only able ever to kill one with the actual method.
They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphino asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's Guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went, until we finally arrived here in Alamigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you. During the course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night. It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion. I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
No, they won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on!
Until our comrades in the east get ready for their invasion of Garlemald. I mean, Imperial provinces.
No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
Would you and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hier know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
Untold sorrow must be changed. Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
What the hell was happening with Maxima there? Hey, neither of us is for nap time.
You heard it too.
So that means probably Alphino's nap time now.
Well, at least we're both still standing.
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
So Alphino is safe for the present at least. Now all we need to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. I'm actually glad Lise told us, tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be... Why does Pandora keep doing this? Be dashing from place to place, then sitting around stewing over things we can't change. To the Enclave. Oh no! Might as well just have it set so we can return to the Enclave. Alright, now I got a belly to rub. God damn it. I even blocked their number. Huh. I'll be right back. I'm just going to do the next best thing and just turn off my phone. The fall of Rab3 was not the end of our nation. We who survived retreated underground and have been gathering strength to mount a counteroffensive. Damaska will rise again. I am come to represent the lands of Noxia. Long have we struggled in defiance of the Empire, waiting for just an opportunity as this alliance presents. The Imperials have enjoyed the freedom of the Ruby Sea for long enough. 'Tis time they paid their dues. After this humbling at your hands, Magni and his order has spent every waking moment upon the training fields. Defeat does not sit well for the son and his children. We, the Blue Kojin, will not submit to the Empire's tyranny. If only our red brethren would awaken from their folly. Alone, Doma could accomplish little against the Empire, but in concert with the allies who have gathered here today, we might do much. Edgar, you have arrived in time to witness the beginnings of our new alliance. Our proposals struck a chord with many of our neighbors, I am pleased to say. Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors with the members of our newly formed alliance. The Kojin and the Confederacy you already know, and it was your own strength of arms that won us the cooperation of the Steppe tribes. We also have been joined by our neighbors from Axia and the indomitable citizens of Damaska, though the scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official introduction. Proud people have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Garlean Empire. I'm glad to see your alliance is coming along so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength. Thank you for bringing me news of Alphino. His fate is never far from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As for this sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree the Alamigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring it down upon Eorzea. And I would help deflect the blade, but I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assaults until our walls in the burn is in place. The all-important Allegan energy barrier. The energy barrier, yes, I thought to call it something more auspicious. A name drawn from the fourth lords of legend, perhaps Sirius, Aegis, or some sort. Well, just a thought. The Ironworks engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage. Have you time to attend the first test? You'll see that field which protected is the law firsthand, and I would be interested to hear how you think ours compares. I will come too, if you don't mind, though I am no Yoshitola, I may be able to offer some insight. Of course, time being of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yagiri, I leave you and Hakuro to bring the war council to the close. Understood. Your mounts are saddled and ready, my lord. Where the storms. We're back here again. And we're ending here again. See you all in the next